are watching the Hawks Sports Network. It's great to have you with us. This is game 2 of our doubleheader here today at the Hawks Nest. Andrew Milani alongside me. I am Matt Hamill, and we have a great matchup today, Andrew, as the Humber Hawks look to continue this great weekend of volleyball going. They won in 3 straight sets yesterday against Cambrian. Matchup here today against the Boreal Vipers.
Yeah, Hawks have been looking very strong throughout the season here so far. Perfect 4-0, perfect 12 sets to nothing on the season, so they have yet to drop one. Ranked number 1 in the OCAA on both weeks and find themselves ranked number 4 nationally here. They have also captured 4 straight OCAA gold medals. The record in the OCAA is 6, so they are crawling their way towards that. So this is part of the first steps here towards that for the rest of the season. But this team's just been on a roll, led by Tate Blackmore up there in the OCAA for kills per set, service aces per set, and points per set as well. So I'm going to expect some big things from the Navy in gold here today.
Yeah, without question. We have a lot of talented players to watch here today on both sides. And for Humber, it's been such a great start to the season. We'll talk more about this game on the other side of the player introductions.
Between the visiting Boreal Vipers and your Humber Hawks! Firstly, please welcome the officials for the game. Assistant Referee 1, Gang Shu. Assistant Referee 2, Jamie Zhao. The second referee, Frank Demsar. And the first referee, Holly Roy. And now it's time to welcome the starting lineups for both the teams. Firstly, for the visiting Boreal Vipers. Starting up from Humber, number 6, Jacob Leduc. From Valcaron, number 7, Dimitri Mata. From Chancellor, Ontario, number 9, Kaylan Pezant. From Valcaron, number 11, Liam Patterson. From Sunbury, number 13, Alexi Rion. From Pleasant Valley, number 20, Josh Montpellier. And from his libero from Debrulville, number 19, Patrick Bouchard. The head coach for Boreal is Brian Welch. Standing 6'2", playing left side, number 6, Paul Mena. From Oakville, Ontario, standing 6'4", playing outside, number 10, Nathan Yeager. From Mississauga, Ontario, standing 6'5", playing middle, number 11, Alec Looney! From Santos, Berlin, standing 6'8", playing middle, number 12, Apollo Brass! From Hamilton, Ontario, standing 6'5", the center, number 13, Caleb Hewitt! From St. John's, playing 6'4", playing outside, number 14, Jake Bond! From your liberos for the game, firstly from Kharkiv, standing 5'10", the number 1, Mikhailo Saidov! And from Scarborough, Ontario, standing 5'7", number 15, Alex Segai!
Well, there you have it. Players have been introduced. We're about ready to get this one underway here at the Humber Polytechnic North Campus Gym. The Hawks Nest is where we have found a busy weekend of volleyball, Andrew. And again, a very good exhibition by the Humber men's team yesterday, continuing their perfection on the season thus far of yet to lose a set type of play. And we'll see if they can continue that here. We're seeing some different faces in the mix here, Andrew, compared to yesterday's starting lineup. We'll see if some fresh faces can get in sync here early on and what kind of play we get from the Hawks.
Yeah, head coach Wayne Wilkins giving the bottom part of his lineup some reps here, seeing what they could do here. Always helps when you have a little bit of depth in your lineup, as this has been Humber's calling card, really. Depth in droves.
And I heard from a little birdie that it is head coach Wayne Wilkins' birthday.
So we'll see. I hadn't heard, Matt.
We'll see. I mentioned it maybe once or twice during the women's game, so we'll see if Coach Wilkins' players give him the really only birthday gift I imagine he's interested in. There he is with his back to the camera, talking to his brother in the background there, Chris Wilkins, who saw his women's team, who he's the head coach of, pick up a 3 straight sets victory.
Pulling off the weekend sweep, if you will, after getting the 3-0 win against Cambrian yesterday.
And the men's team hoping to do the same. The Vipers serving first. And the first point of the game will be a quick point, courtesy of the Brazilian, Apollo Brás.
Yeah, he got all of that one there, just using all that height, all 6'8" there. They got to get on top of that one for the big spike.
And the serve by Hewitt. Tipped up at the net, kind of in a tough spot. Vipers get a second crack at it here. And going across the court, steering away from the blockers, but not able to find the inbounds area.
Yeah, they found the gap there between the Humber players, but that one just sailed a little bit long out of bounds.
Hewitt serving. Don't be surprised if he kind of interacts with one of our broadcast cameras. He's got a history of that in this early season. Good play at the net there, and that is just up and down. Paul Manna, second-year guy with a big hit there.
The Toronto native getting it done there and putting Humber up by 3 here early on.
Another serve for Hewitt. Humber with the first 3 points of the game. Up at the net, another close ball, and you know what? That's just going to allow Brás to get the play on it. 6'8", so the height advantage on display there from the Brazilian.
Yeah, and Matrix Bouchard there, the libero for Boreal, was almost on the spot there, but just a little bit out of his reach there as he tipped it out.
And Hewitt looked like maybe the only thing that was going to stop his run of serves was himself, and the error will put a stop to his nice run to start the game. Serving now for the Vipers is Jacob Leduc, one of many first-year players on this Vipers team. And some parallels with the men and women's team for Boreal, where there's a lot of first-year players comprising the roster.
Yeah, like you said, there are not too many second-year players. I mean, there's only 5 in their squad. No third, fourth, or fifth-year players on this team, so it can be a little bit difficult without the veteran presence on their squad. Meanwhile, Humber, it's only 3 first-year players on their end.
Good play up front at the net, and once again, Apollo is doing a great job up front for the Hawks. That brings up Manna. Humber going with Segui as the libero. Strong serve. Yeah, too hot to handle, and the service ace. Putting Humber up 7-1. Humber, much similar to the women's team, ranked number 4 in the nation. How about that? Good play there for Humber. All kinds of blockers in position. Boreal that time going with the high IQ play. That was Ray Ohm. And that's had to make Humber scramble a little bit. Free ball for the Hawks. Up front, setting it up for Jagger, who smashes it down.
Yeah, right in the vicinity of 3 Boreal Vipers players, but that one came down so fast, none of them could really react to that in time. Strong play.
chance to serve. That's a good looking serve right there. Set up again for Boreal. He's going to knock it over. Hewitt sets up, but with a massive shot.
That one went right to Leduc, but again, way too fast for him to react. And already a timeout here called by the Boreal Vipers.
So Jake Butt by way of St. John's, Newfoundland with the big blast. He was set up by Hewitt here on the Hawk Sports Network. We've seen a couple plays like that from Humber early in the game. 9-1, and yes, timeout called by the Vipers to try to slow things down.
And slow things down, they're going to want to do. This game's just been blowing by here so far. Already 10 points. Doesn't feel like that at all, but Humber looking strong here early on. Look there at Jake Butt, who has already been making his presence felt there on the score sheet with that kill.
Another look here is one of those later points by Humber, and that was the setup on this last point there from Hewitt to JB.
Just found that gap there in the middle of the court there. Difficult play there for the Vipers.
And now we find ourselves in a tail end of this timeout. Weekend road trip for the Vipers. They took on Sheridan yesterday, falling in 3 straight sets. And staying the night here in Charana. And we'll head back to Sudbury at the conclusion of today's games. Okay, serve here from Mana. And he's putting a lot of pepper on these shots and just going to be setting up Brass as Andrew, it was just too hot to handle, and then at the net, Humber with the height advantage getting it done.
Yeah, Paulo Brass didn't look like he even got all that one, but just kind of popped it down there for the easy point. And he has already got his 2nd kill of the day.
Seen some great serves here from Paul. Another good looking one right there, and that's going to somehow avoid touch on the rafters. And the Vipers play it over.
Yeah, big break there for the Vipers that didn't touch the Raptors, but didn't matter there. Humber getting another point.
Boy, Mana really showing some of the things he's capable of. I mean, we've seen these serves he's rattling off. As we got Mana serving right now, and that time from the back court, just an absolute rifle of a shot. Going for the softer touch that time. A little element of surprise.
Yeah, to use a baseball term there, throwing in the changeup there, and Boreal kind of caught them a little bit off guard. You can see that with their return there, and easy play there for Paulo Brass as he got his 3rd kill.
Yeah, a little bit of Groundhog Day action there, whereas another serve kind of careening off of Viper and right to Brass. And that'll be out of play. So Humber's had a couple big run of serves. We saw Caleb Hewitt earlier in the game. Now Mana, and both times it's service errors that are what put an end to the very impressive run of points.
Yeah, you notice that with a lot of these players that are kind of like your service ace experts on your team, where they'll kind of give a little bit, you know, and it kind of goes both ways, right? Where you get those aces and you get those errors as well. So I guess it comes with the territory.
The serve, the powerful serves give it, then they take it away, right, Andrew?
Just like the tape on the net.
Just like the net has been known to do. We're going to have a substitution for the serve as Brass will take what I anticipate is a brief break. Serving for Humber. Brock McKenzie. McKenzie with a good-looking shot. That's going to be set up for Boreal. What's the call going to be?
That's going to be a violation against Boreal.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they got it through the wickets. If I can borrow a cricket term. If you're talking baseball, Andrew, why can't I talk cricket?
Why not?
Another serve here, and good power on that from Brock. Boreal sets it up on that near side, and that will go in favor of the Vipers as it's tipped by the Humber blockers and landing out of play.
Yeah, good job to get that through the block there, so to speak, and kind of got tangled up there and hit the ground.
Now Boreal serving. One of many first-year players on this Vipers team. Big setup. Block made by Patterson.
Jaeger, good try there at that flip down play.
Couple good plays. You know, the first 2 points for Boreal were service errors for Humber, so earning 2 hard-fought points back-to-back here. Find themselves down by 10.
And they need to find some momentum here quick, any which way.
It's a good play up front at the net. Payzant with a second crack at it. Hewitt pops it up. Backcourt for Rayo, and Hewitt once again receiving that. Set up here for Jagger. This should be a good play for Humber up front at the net, and just not able to get much of it at all, Andrew.
Yeah, Alec Loney just couldn't quite get enough of that one. Kind of went off the fingertips there and kind of deflected off to the side there out of bounds.
Nice looking serve. Set up there for Jake Butt. Couple Viper players colliding, gonna get it over somehow, but quick on his feet was Humber's number 11, Alec Loney, for the blast.
Yeah, Loney making up for his mistake last time out, putting that shot right down there for the kill, earning his first of the match.
So Humber back up by 10. With the Oakville fella, Nathan Jagger. That's going to be a service ace for number 10.
A good job there by Jaeger to put that ball in the right position.
Jaeger came into today with 3 service aces, now given 4. So it looks like serving certainly a weapon that he's got to work with. And we'll give him another service ace.
Getting the double right there, 2 in a row. And you see all the power he gets there behind that one. Gets a little drop at the end too. The nice spin he gets there on the ball.
So
can he go 3 for 3?
Yeah, and effectively doubling his season service aces is what he could do with another one here. But no self-inflicted wound as Humber's service error will get the ball back to the Vipers.
Humber electing to switch up their liberos here. Side off and Sekui getting double duty here.
Yeah, by way of Kharkiv, Ukraine, Mikhailo Saidov, first-year player. Cool part, a cool dynamic of this Humber team. Little international flavor.
Yep.
Mentioned brass by way of Brazil earlier. Saidov, the Ukrainian. Dimitri serving for the Vipers. Hewitt setting things up for Jake Butt.
Oh, they're saying that's out, but that looked like that played.
I think maybe an overruling as...
Yeah. Strange though, because the assistant referee that was close to the vicinity called that out, but that looked like that hit the corner to me. At least from my angle.
Consensus overruled, and that will be much more clear-cut out of play. Yeah, now serving is Kalen Payzant. Set up here, good shot from Mana. Boy, he's been getting it done from the service line, now up front with that hit.
Kill number 2 for him on the day already. Or number 3, excuse me, as the scoreboard updates.
So Loney, it's a good looking serve in terms of the power he was able to generate, but the tape taking that one away.
Yeah, just didn't get enough of that one, and that will turn the ball over.
Patterson's serve. Handled there by Jake. Up front, Mana is blocked, but it's going to land well out of play off the fingertips of the Viper players.
Yeah, you see this a lot with the Humber men, where they put those shots so powerful into the block, and they really can't corral that one, and it really just bounces out of bounds.
Humber sitting pretty here in set number 1. 20-9 is the score. Good looking serve from Caleb Hewitt. Sets it up for Mana. Shot from Leduc. Hewitt sets it up for Jagger. That's going to be a couple of Vipers converging on the play. And that is punched, and a violation will go against the Vipers.
Humber just 4 points away from taking this first set.
Hewitt sends that one long. So give another point to the Vipers. They're now at the 10-point threshold.
And the Boreal player almost had that one, but kind of shied away from it at the last second. A good play by him there.
Well, that sort of body awareness and where they are on the court relative to whether or not that serve may be going out. Well judged that time. Popped up here. Hewitt sets it up for Mana. And that is a solid point for Humber as they tiptoe their way to a first set victory. Not far off now by the looks of it.
And Mana's got the hot hand here for Humber. Just found that sweet spot in the court. 5th kill already.
Mana with a good crack on that one. Rayo blasts it and pops it up. And just a high IQ volleyball play right there as Jake Butt, by way of St. John's, Newfoundland, finds a nice sweet spot in the backcourt.
Yeah, found that back spot empty there, and just a little soft touch there. Precision over power in that case. And just 2 points away.
And looking like he's trying to put this one away with these impressive looking serves. Hit over by Mantha. Jagger's gonna get a good bounce off of a Viper. Humber another point.
Yeah, another good setup there by Huad, who's just been doing a good job not giving away if he's gonna pass it forward or backward there, and the backwards pass working to perfection that time. Wow.
Mana's serve, oh, not gonna quite get the bounce, but it looked like it could have been one of those impossible serves to return where it just hangs up on the net and drops straight down. Dropping out of bounds that time. Humber 1 point away from clinching the first set. Montpellier. Good serve. Sanda popped it up. Jagger's gonna be the one to blast it over and send Humber into the first intermission with a 1-set lead. Pretty dominant play early on, Andrew. It was a couple of just big plays and big runs, service runs that really set the tone early.
Yeah, I mean, Humber just started off on top and really didn't look back. Boreal tried to come back after that early timeout, but Humber just proved to be too strong there in the first set. A lot much like that set against women there, where they kind of got rolling. Let's see if we can kind of repeat what we saw in the last couple sets there in the women's game, where it was a little bit more back and forth to start out.
Yeah, certainly some parallels there. Humber got off to a great start here in front of us in this game, and yeah, the women's game as well was pretty decisive. I think 25-10. Now, it was much, much closer in the second before Humber, again, started to pull away. We'll see if the head coach for the Vipers, Brian Welsh, who is head coach both for the men and women's team, maybe can dial up some similar adjustments and try to stop the Hawks from running away with another set here.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting down the stretch, but I mean, if Humber can keep their serve kind of working here, it's going to be a tough ask here for Boreal down the stretch. Look there at the Boreal bench, led by head coach Brian Welsh, as you alluded to earlier. There's a look at the Humber bench. Hank Ma giving some last-second information to Nathan Yeager.
They're handing out some candy. The member of the athletic therapy team has got some simple carbohydrates, Andrew. Get that blood sugar up. You know, it's the move, right? You want to make sure you have a little bit of that fuel. And I know that you'd maybe want to go for a carbonara or maybe some, you know, pasta fajoule or
some carb load and old school.
But no, that is what Humber's going with on that sideline to keep the energy high. There's a good look at Boreal. There's a better look at the banners, OCAA championships. And Andrew, if you divert your eyes even higher up, hanging from the rafters are the CCAA national championships. And a couple of those,
including the 4 supremacy banners, which were just added this year.
The newfangled CCAA supremacy, and Humber being awarded, I suppose, a rather subjective, but I'm sure a lot of numbers go into all the different championships Humber has won. And amongst all CCAA athletic programs, Humber given that recognition over 50 years of CCAA action as reigning supreme. And a lot of proud athletic traditions across the country at post-secondary institutions, and a very proud tradition here at Humber. The newly branded Humber Polytechnic. We'll see what we can do about renaming Humber College Boulevard, Andrew.
That might have to wait a little bit. I don't think they're in any rush. Yeah. I think we could live with that one for the time being, but as it were, we'll be right back underway here.
Okay, Hewitt serving for Humber to start things off. Very dominant play from this young man and the rest of his teammates in set 1. Serves in play. Good block there for Humber as Boreal tried to get it in. He will now just bump it over. Set up. Good blast.
Mana picking up right where he left off. Had 5 kills in that first set, 1 already to get us started here.
Hewitt getting the benefit of the tip. So hard to return a serve like that, but tough to draw it up, Andrew. That's just good fortune for the Hawks there.
Yeah, I imagine you try and get it as close to that tape as possible without hitting it, but in that case, it worked out for him.
Hewitt, another serve. 2-0 lead for Humber right now. Segui up high. Great setup there for Jagger. Goodness gracious. And that one hang time on that set.
Yeah, and they got hung up in the block there for Boreal, giving Humber the point. And Hawks picking up right where they left off in that first set, quick 3 points.
Tough from a timing perspective to defend a setup like that. And Hewitt getting a little too friendly with the tape that time. Service error will score 3-1 and bring up a Viper serve. It's going to be Jacob Leduc, first-year guy, serving here.
Box three, no jobs.
Into teams trading service errors.
Now coming to zone number 6.
And he was so dominant on the service line that first set.
Well fielded there by Boreal's Liam Patterson, but it's going to be a good follow-up effort to give the Vipers a well-earned point.
Yeah, big cross-court one there. Tough for Humber to return.
Yeah, Lexi Rayom, one of the tallest players on this Vipers team. 6'6". Good setup across there for Brock McKenzie. Side off, pops it up. Jagger is blocked, but it's going to land out of play. Give credit to Jagger for a good shot up tight.
Paulo Brass. Substitution being made here. So Francis checking in.
Yeah, Loney will step out for the moment. And Brass did such a good job in the first set. Tall fella will drill that one into the net. He had 3 kills in that first set. Now check out. Set up there for Francis, right into the game. That's one of Humber's usual starters this year. Francis, keep an eye, number 2 in blue. Good block there. Pays on with an excellent block for Boreal. Now Humber's number 9, Brock McKenzie, able to find the back line.
Yeah, good job there by McKenzie to paint that back line there and put Humber back up by 3.
Jaeger with the shot. Big serve there. That's going to be good for the service ace. Jaeger, once again, another good shot. He's going to tip it up here for Hewitt. Just a heads-up play. You know, we saw that from another Humber Hawk alumni, you know, Jake Gomes, who is no longer eligible in his playing career here for Humber, but that is just an excellent play, high IQ, and finding an easy point there.
Yeah, great job there to find that space in the defense. They were all expecting that big hit. Not for Watt to throw that over.
That time, Hewitt's going to set it up. Business as usual with Nazir Francis stepping into it.
Yeah, one of Humber's big starters there, showing off why he's usually in that starting lineup, putting that smack right in the middle for the point.
So little chit-chat. Interesting to see Nathan Jaeger. He actually got rid of the ball. I guess he doesn't want to mess up his rhythm. But Andrew, on the other side, I think we might have a leading member of the Vipers as Jacob Leduc.
Yeah, he'll have to get himself fixed up.
Talking to him before the game, he jokingly said, hey, if I mess up at all today, you have to be nice to me. I said, I have a job to do, partner. Can't make any promises. So a little stoppage in the action here. Eight dogs serving for Humber once we get back in action.
Yeah, you don't see this too often.
No, this is like quite a protracted timeout. Humber is huddled up. It is a rather unusual stoppage in play, but Andrew, why don't we just grab a ball, start horsing around like those guys? So Taven Blackmore, you see one of the most dangerous members of men's volleyball in the OCAA there with the white headband. Haven't seen him in action today, but he was dynamite yesterday evening against the Cambrian Shield.
Yeah, perhaps one of the early favorites here for OCAA Player of the Year. We'll have to keep an eye on that as the season moves on.
Yeah, you talk about athleticism as a weapon on the volleyball court, and you can really dial up some highlight reel plays. Humber is going to be in action next when they are once again at home this Wednesday versus Redeemer.
That one's scheduled for 8 o'clock. And the women's scheduled for 6.
Yes, sir. And that will be the conclusion of Humber's longest home stretch of the year. 4 games in a row at home. Their longest road game stretch for this Hawks team will be 3 road games towards the end of the season. So on the road against Conestoga, on the road against Sheridan, that's January 18th and 22nd. And then a late January Fanshawe game. Humber's final game of the regular season will be on January 30th, and then yes, February is the all-important playoff portion of the schedule. Hey, Andrew, so in all my years of OCAA volleyball, a stoppage I have not quite ever really experienced. This appears to be winding down. And quite a pause in the action here for Nathan.
Yeah, so Boreal getting a bit of a free timeout there, I suppose.
All played up here, set up at the net. The Vipers with a good cross-court shot. It's off the hands of Mantha. And Boreal will get the point out of that timeout, or extended period of non-action. I think what we've also had is number 6, Jacob Leduc, has now switched uniforms. Big shot there from Francis, but I think number 18 for the Vipers is, I believe it's actually Leduc. It's just a matter of playing with the jersey. It doesn't have blood on it, Andrew. Policy there, got to get some clean gear.
Certainly no arguments or objections from myself about that one.
Nathan with a long setup there to Mana. Francis able to pop it up, but just kind of got away from him.
And this set much closer than that last one. Boreal, I mean, they're down by 5, but still finding a way to hang in there. And like we said in the last match, you can't afford to really go tit for tat here. You got to find a way to claw your way back into this one. Having to serve will help.
Yeah, maybe the start of a few points and out of play. Not sure. Maybe one of the Hawks called it out. Giving the old my bad to the rest of the team. So 6-10 is our score. Pays off. Serve. McKenzie sets it up. Now it's on the other side for the Vipers. Stepping up from the back court is Mantha.
Here, Francis getting up there to get that play.
See what he can dial up with the serves for Nazir Francis. He's got just pretty impressive 5 service aces on the season. Let's see if he can add to that here. Close call, set up at the net. It's over. Brass tips it up. It's Mana on the other side. This should be a good look for Humber. Back again to Mana, beating the block. Humber now up by 6 points.
Yeah, Boreal, that's a really scramble there to get that block there. And not quite able to get set in time, as you see they kind of deflected out of bounds here.
Francis, did he find the line? No, he did not. Out of play. Point back to Boreal. Serve is put into play by Montpellier. And so a couple players not able to get under it there, giving Humber the point.
Brass getting a good ball down there. The Boreal front line kind of doing all they can to try and keep that ball up when you're in the moment there. It kind of feels like the ball's falling in slow motion.
Hewitt's been dialed in with the serves. And into the net. So Hewitt's going to get another chance for the serve here.
Humber slowly starting to pull away here. Going to wonder if Brian Welsh is going to use a timeout here for Boreal, or if he's just going to keep those in his pocket like we saw last time out in the women's match.
Hewitt puts it in. Montpellier setting it up there for the newly minted number 18, Jacob Leduc. Jacob stepping into it. Miss hit there as it lands well out of play.
Hank Ma showing off his reflexes there, grabbing that ball. Might have saved me from getting a ball in the face.
Yes, or heaven forbid, our monitor and the technology over here, Andrew. We got it.
Nah, forget the technology. It's all about the goods.
Jaeger, another big play as he's getting some great minutes here today in this Sunday afternoon OCAA matchup. Number 10 for Humber. Another big play. Hewitt, more serves from this young man. Well hit. Segui pops it up, and Hewitt over to Jaeger. Huge shot right down the alley.
Guys found that laneway there right to the back corner. We'll get another look at that. Crossed up a couple of those Boreal players.
So here on the Hawk Sports Network, game 2 of our Sunday doubleheader. Some shades of the first. Humber in commanding position. That time the block by Grass won't connect as Boreal gets the point.
And they'll need to put together a run here in a hurry. They were down by double digits, now by 9, but you can feel the set slowly starting to slip away from them.
Yeah, Humber needs 8 points before they capture the set, so there is some breathing room for the Vipers, but that's going to help the cause as a service ace to bring the Vipers within 8.
Yeah, just found that back line there, Jacob Leduc, and his newly minted number 18.
Well, if he has the game of his life, he'll have a good case to maybe switch to number 18. Up high here for Humber's number 6. And Hawks wanted the call that maybe it grazed some fingertips, but the shot from Mana will land out of play.
Yeah, a ton of smoke behind that shot there by Paul Mana. Unfortunately for him, that missed the court.
Good serve from Leduc. Mana shot and too hot to handle, out of play, and Mana, after missing on his last shot, makes good on that blast.
Yeah, no confusion about that one. That one was definitely deflected out by Boreal, and Humber's back by 8. And with Paul Mana, one of their best guys on the service line, getting ready.
Yeah, he really showed what he can do with the serves that time. A lot of smoke on that one. Segui chops it up. Hewitt setting it up to Brock. Segui once again on the call to dig that one out. Pushed, landing out of play, but off of a Viper, so Humber gets the point.
Yeah, it took a second before we got the call there, but the referees do confirm it was a Humber point.
Mana puts it up, and it's a good look there with the serve into the net. Not quite the hit that Bouvreau was looking for.
Alexandra Govro unable to get that one over. Mana back on the line.
Yeah, that was a lot of power, but finding the underside of that tape, putting it into the net. So 20-11 as the Hawks are in a good position, poised to go up by 2 sets, but they need to close things out here. Stepping into it, and that is just a big shot from Mana. Putting them back up by 10. 4 points away from closing the door here on set number 2. Grass with the service error.
I mean, you don't love giving away those service errors, but you'll take it.
Bouvreau serving it, handled there by Mana. Jagger's looking for a space to put it, but well received by the Vipers. A big blast set up and smashed by Dimitri Mantha.
Yeah, Mantha going cross court with that one. An excellent shot. Boreal still trailing by 8, though. Long way left to go.
See a lot of these first-year players from the Vipers went to the same high school, Horizon Secondary, so you know that can be such a valuable thing to have players, even if they're in their first year of OCAA volleyball, that do have that chemistry. That can go a long way. Both Mantha and Leduc on to that same secondary school in Sudbury. Sudbury area, I should say. Tipped up there for Hewitt.
Oh my.
And a couple of players flying around the court, and the 4 touches will give it to Humber.
Yeah, just a bunch of Vipers players just diving, trying to keep that one alive, but just unable to do it.
Nathan sends it into the tape. So Boreal back within 9, but Humber is oh so close to taking a commanding 2-set lead.
Mantha before with that big kill.
That's set up, coming in from the back court with the hit. So violation going against the Hawks.
Yeah, lane violation there.
Played up here, setting in for McKenzie. Francis now to Hewitt, and some good blocking there, but I think we're gonna have a violation against the Vipers for, yeah, kind of heading over the top there.
Set point now for Humber, chance to go up 2-0.
And Brock McKenzie by way of Thunder Bay, chance to put this one away. McKenzie with his first service ace of the season, and what better time than the present as he puts away set number 2, and Humber in a very commanding position, up 2 sets here after 2.
Yeah, and that last serve looked like it may have been going out, but Dimitri Mantha just got a hand on that one, and that might be a costly error for his team there. It's costing them the set.
Replay here on that. A couple of those big plays here in set number 2. And Humber coming away with points was certainly the story, but some improvements there. Looking at the numbers, we saw a little bit closer there in set number 2, but Andrew, I think Humber didn't allow Boreal to set the tone there. Hawks got off to a great start and once again really set the tone for another set victory.
Yeah, it took him a little bit to go there. And there's a former Humber cock, Daquan Cathcart. He's captain of the national champion basketball team just a few years ago. But yeah, going back to that last set, Humber, you know, was a little bit tit for tat there to get started. But once Humber got rolling, found their rhythm there, especially on the service line, there's no looking back from there.
There's a look at that service line play that was so consequential for Humber, both in the first and second set. Look no further than the service ace that put that second set away as an example. And so, almost wrapping things up here, Humber have still not had an opponent capture a set victory, and you know Boreal would love to be that team. You got to think any team that squares off against Humber, you know, early in the season, you know, taking on a team like Humber that has yet to drop one, and just how nice it would feel to play spoiler. And, you know, the Vipers have another chance here to be that squad as they've come into the gym of the number 4 ranked team in the nation to round off their weekend road trip. For Humber, it's been a comfortable weekend at home, beginning the month of November with a win yesterday and a chance to pick up another W here to round off the first few games of the new month.
And the weekend sweep, both in terms of matches and sets, if they can pull this one off.
Elsewhere for Humber sports this weekend, we saw the Humber men's rugby team win in the semifinals at home against the Georgian Grizzlies. That punching their ticket to the gold medal game next weekend. Humber will host that, the men's rugby side of things.
They'll be playing against the Conestoga Condors, the team that held them to the closest victory of the season. Humber sitting 6-0 on the season, looking for that first gold medal in 10 years. Should be a lot of fun.
Men's rugby, just a little bit more physical than volleyball. I mean, just a wonderfully aggressive sport that we had the pleasure of seeing in person yesterday.
Yeah, Matt, you're a football guy and calling a football adjacent sport there. But you know, it's also fun, men's volleyball here right now.
Oh, no question. You know, different aspects of sport on display here. So much athleticism we see on the volleyball court. I don't know how one of these 6'8" blockers would fit in on the rugby field, Andrew. Might be an interesting experiment.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many 6'8" rugby players there are on the planet right now.
Well, if they exist, I wouldn't want to have to tackle them either.
No.
Andrew, it's almost time to get going here. Set number 3. The Vipers will start off with the serve, and it's going to be Joshua Montpellier, first-year player, with a good-looking serve to get things cracking, but it's just a little bit long, giving the opening point to Humber. Hewitt serving. He has done very well from this part of the court today.
That's a double touch.
Yeah, a little frustration there from the play of Jacob Leduc. Trying to get comfortable in a new uniform, new number. Who dis?
New number, who dis?
Right off the tape there is Hewitt not able to put it where he wanted on that particular serve. So leading the Hawks on the floor right now with 8 kills here today is Nathan Jagger. We'll keep an eye on number 10 for Humber. Right now, all eyes on 18. And that's going to be a good play up front at the net by Rayom.
And just like that, Boreal finds themselves tied here.
Good start thus far.
Back three, no dogs.
Well played. Set up from McKenzie. Now over to Jake Butt. And tough play up front at the net. Miscue there for the Vipers, giving Humber the point.
Yeah, Hamza Cizé looked like he might have had the opportunity, but just shied away from it for the last second.
Jake, strong serve. That's going to set things up nicely at the net for Humber. To Jagger. Big block. My goodness, size mismatch, but did not matter as Mantha came away victorious.
Yeah, and Dimitri Mantha's already had a few big moments today. The big block there, he had that big kill earlier on that last set too. 3 kills on the day for him.
Played up here. Cross to Jagger, and that's going to be the kind of shot he was hoping for here in set number 3. Humber gets the point.
Yeah, went cross court, got deflected into that back corner. Looking to find a run here.
Polo with the serve. Almost getting his first service ace of the season. In fact, he has locked it down. Not the usual part of his game he leans on for success. This is a young man who's so effective up front. We've seen that in spades here today, but getting it done with the serve. A little versatility from the Brazilian fella.
Yeah, so important here, especially when you want to go on that run here. You're in a close set here so far.
Wow, how about that? Getting it over by any means necessary. It was Montpellier. And a net violation, making it all for naught as Humber gets the point on that rally.
Another huge point there. Humber now doubling up Boreal. You feel like they may start to build up a nice little run here.
Another serve from Brass. Sends it long. Good heads up play by Leduc to duck away from that one.
Yeah, missed that back line by a couple feet.
And Brass gets some well-deserved love from his team as he heads off for the moment. Serve on the way from Fro. But pops it up. McKenzie soaring in and got just enough on it.
Yeah, I don't know if McKenzie intended to do that, but just got enough of that ball to get it over. And Boreal, I think they were expecting the hard hit there, so not quite prepared for that one. Either way, it worked out for the Navy in gold.
Nice looking serve. Give an ace for Hager. So much contributed here from this young man today, and another great looking serve to complement some of his wonderful play up front at the net.
Yeah, Jaeger came into this weekend with 3 service aces. And showing off a nice serve here. Can he do it again?
Popped up high. Across on that near side. Jaeger gets under it, setting it up here for McKenzie. Second chance for Humber as Hewitt says he found it, and Humber is going to get the call.
Yeah, one of the assistant referees saying he deflected it, or that one of the Boreal players deflected it rather. Boreal not happy with that.
We're going to have a little congregation of the officials right now to talk that one over.
We'll see if this gets overturned.
All 4 officials. What did you see? You can kind of see the body language of the Vipers. They really think that if this doesn't go their way, they're going to be quite unhappy. And it's going to be in favor of the Vipers, overturned. So saying it landed out of play and was not last touched by the Vipers.
Dimitri Mantha on the service line. One of the standouts here for Boreal today.
9-5 is our score. Big shot coming in, and that's heading into the stands. Goodness gracious. And a lot of heart on display. Chasing after it was Boreal's number 11, Liam Patterson.
Went hard into the front row there. Woman in the front row had to move out of the way quickly. Glad everyone's okay. There he is giving chase, and
ouch.
Yeah.
Hewitt, heads up play. Quick shot for Humber, able to get up, back up by 5 points.
Yeah, Hewitt, the setter, usually known for setting up his teammates, but just smacking that ball down right there for a second kill of the match.
Here comes Brock. Number 9 for Humber with a great shot there. Humber recovering after a solid blast from Payson. And the block is there. Loney and Hewitt able to come together and get a great block on Leduc.
Humber once again extending their lead here. 6 points up.
And that will be out of play. So the service error will bring Boreal back within 5. Segui pops it up. Loney stepping into it. Wow, Loney elevating and coming down on that one.
Yeah, making it look easy there, going cross court. That ball finds its way in the back corner. One more look at that. Power and precision both on display there.
Good hit, handled there by Patterson. Good to see he's okay after kind of crashing into the stands moments ago. Jake Butt up and down.
Yeah, one finding its way on the court. Might have been deflected, but didn't matter there. Another look at that.
That
big hit.
From St. John's with love. On the good old Avalon Peninsula, where he calls home.
I don't quite understand what happened really there with Boreal. That looked like a playable ball, but they just let it go. Either way, another service ace for Humber.
Brings up Loney. Up front at the net, and the blocker is there, and in particular, Apollo Brass just shutting things down.
The big man from Brazil getting it done right there. Came into the weekend with only 1 block, and it's already had a couple here today.
From the backcourt coming in was Gavreau, handled by Humber. Now it's Jagger, who's been so dangerous here today, but he teased that one off just a little outside of the field of play.
Yeah, it was a good idea there to try and go cross court, trying to find that back corner, but just missed that side edge.
Finding a favorable bounce off the net. Humber recovering. Jake Butt stepping in. That is in, and that That is a gorgeous looking shot. A couple of big plays from JB here in set number 2.
Absolutely, really showing off his skills today. Another big hit there, just painting that corner.
And Hewitt, who has been very busy with his serves, a lot of protracted service opportunities for him. Just dumped over deep into the Viper backcourt. Up front now, this should be a good free look for Humber. Setting things up for, once again, Jake Butt.
Number 14 in Navy. That's kill number 5 for him today, second on the team.
And that might be all, as Jake Butt maybe wanted to stay in a bit longer because he has been really feeling himself here. Great Sunday play from that young man, but checking in by way of Kharkiv is Mikhailo Saidov. And Humber, getting the wires crossed there. So Ledoux serving now. And almost finding that back line, just a little too strong there.
Humber retaking that 10-point lead and just 7 points away, so Boreal's really gonna have to scratch and claw here to come back into this one. And once again, Brian Welsh just keeping those timeouts in his pocket.
There you have it. Big points here. Humber is getting ever so much closer to putting this game away in 3 straight sets. All Humber needs, Andrew, is just 6 more points, and we'll see what kind of play we get from Saidov with the serves.
Wow.
How's an ace for Mikhailo. First-year guy checks into the game, and it's a big shoes to fill. Jake Butt was playing so well, and he comes in with an excellent strike there.
Humber's got that next man up mentality here, Matt, where they could just throw in some guys kind of, you know, off from the bench, these great recruits, great players that they have. That one had some power, but just missed.
Yeah, it's quite a big windup on that serve. I mean, that's nearly grazing the ceiling there on that big lead in for that ball. Humber still sitting very nicely here. 20-9 is our score. Serve from Ray Ohm goes long. So both teams trading service errors. Paulo Brass had his first service ace of his season and of his OCAA career earlier in the game. And he gets another one, Andrew. How do you like that?
I like that a lot, Matt, not gonna lie. It's impressive to watch honest here. And non-partial.
Paulo puts it up and into the net. But all in all, a good day of serving from that young man. When you take a look at the big picture here, 3 points away are the Hawks. Overall, will be serving for the Vipers here, trying to keep his team alive. Doesn't quite get what he's looking for there, bringing his opponents that much closer to improving to a perfect weekend, as Humber is eyeballing a 5-0 start to the season without a single set lost. 2 points away from that, Andrew.
Yeah, the provincial champions picking up right where they left off last year. Looking so strong as Josh Nicholson gets ready to serve, the 5th-year player.
Oh, I forgot. Got to get them laces tied. A lot of pressure, you know. Imagine having the camera on you, Andrew. I feel like my shoelace tying I would just totally melt down if
just fumble the bag.
Once the pressure's on. It's like when I'm counting change at the drive-thru and there's people behind me.
Oh.
This is more of a problem of days of old. I feel like change doesn't really work into my payment method as much anymore. But
never heard Steph Cash.
And a misplay there. A couple players for Boreal in the vicinity, but nobody quite taking charge there.
Nope.
And let's see if Nicholson can put things away. The Humber bench making some noise here.
No pressure, Josh. Ah, hate to see that.
His teammates giving him a hard time here.
We had the clap going for you and everything, and come on.
Now it's going to be the Vipers with the ball in hand. Segui pops it up. Sidov. Great play on it, and that will be the point. The rookie checks in. A service ace, and the deciding point of the game is Mikhailo Sidov, by way of Kharkiv, Ukraine, is the guy that gets it done for Humber in crunch time.
Yeah, great game all in all, through and through for these Humber Hawks, looking strong from end to end here. They win the third just like they won the first, 25-11, and it was pure dominance here from the Hawks today. And this weekend, for that matter.
And there you have it, our final score. Humber continues their excellent start to the season, and the number 4 ranked team in the nation continues to play like it, Andrew. We'll see them back in action on Wednesday here on the Hawks Sports Network, both the men and women's team for Humber taking on Redeemer. That about does it for us here. Thanks to everyone involved in the broadcast today, and our broadcast television students, my broadcast partner Andrew Milani, myself, Matt Hamill, and everybody watching. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with us, and we'll see you next time.